Hey guys, welcome back. This is our classic vintage picture book list. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie. I am Christian stay-at-home homeschool mama. I have 7 little ones and my oldest is just 12 and we have been reading picture books for years. I feel like as the years have progressed, the books have gotten worse. So this video is all about classic picture books, vintage books, a huge list here. I think I counted over 30. There might be more. They're just really good books, guys. Good books that will reach our children, that will touch their hearts, living books, good ones for you to share with your children. And this year, I have twins, a set of twins. They just turned 5. They are going to be starting their official kindergarten school year this year, and that is where this is kind of coming from, because 2 years ago, when my 4th born child was coming up to that age, I made a list of a bunch of books off of our bookshelves that I wanted to be sure that we did not skip. I wanted to be sure that we read them before he was a certain age, and I made a long list. I think there were maybe 100 books on there, and I just made it a point that every 2 days or so we would make sure that we had read a couple of these books, and it was so good. It was so good. I crossed them off as we went, and this is a good portion of those books. These are mostly the vintage classic ones that I wanted to get, make sure that I covered with them. So that is why I'm showing them here with you guys. I don't feel like, I feel like there's so many good books out there that are being removed from libraries. We live in a time where we cannot just blindly take our kids to the library and let them pick whatever book. In fact, my 5-year-old twin, we were at the library. She just happened to join us. We were picking up some books and she wanted to go look at her section, and she brought me back a book, and it was, I don't remember the exact title, but it was something about the prince who became a princess or something. And she of course couldn't read that or tell that's what it was about. She just thought it was a princess book. We are past those times when we can just trust the library. So I wanted to give you guys this list. These are great books. If you are doing something like 5 in a row, a lot of these are from that. If you are doing something like Ambleside, a lot of these are there. Just all different kind of little collections that I have found them to be our favorites. So that is why I have collected this list. So let's get started. I have a ton of books to go through and share with you guys. And then this is the list. These are the books you do not want to miss with your kids. And just a side note, you may want to pick them up in proper book form, because a lot of them are going to be probably disappearing over the next several, I don't know guys, I don't know. It feels like that. So also, if you missed last Friday, I did share with you guys the book that were on sale for a book outlet, and I shared with you guys which books I would have bought. Some of these books are available there. So if you want to check that video out or head over there to purchase them, several of them are available there. I did share with you guys a couple already in that video. So let's get started. Okay, I read something once that said if children would just read this one book, as an adult, they would have a better life. And the book, and it's silly, but it's true. The book is The Little Red Hen. And it was talking about that. If you're not familiar with the story, the book talks about how nobody wants to help, but everybody wants to take advantage of the reward. And isn't that so true of today's society? And just a nice little sweet lesson that our little ones should probably learn. So The Little Red Hen is absolutely on this list at the very top. The next one I have is by Don Freeman. He made a lot of beautiful books, but the one that is my favorite is actually the one that I've loved when I was a kid, and it is Corduroy. If you don't know, there's a sequel to Corduroy as well. So if you love Corduroy, but I love the story of Corduroy. It's about a bear who's not quite perfect and the little girl who decides to make him her very own. So it is very sweet and tender. The next one is actually another one of my favorites from my personal childhood. It is Blueberries for Sal. We actually just went huckleberry picking for the very first time, and in Blueberries for Sal, she is picking along with her mama, and then there's a bear. Bears love huckleberries. We did not across any bears during our adventure, but I definitely was thinking about that story the whole time. In fact, the kids even brought it up. They said, this is just like Blueberries for Sal. I hope the bear doesn't come. And it is so true. That is by Robert McCloskey. He has several great books. I have another one here further down the list that I'll talk to you about also, but he also just put out a cookbook that is Blueberries for Sal cookbook. So if you love books that have a cookbook that go with them like I do, then that may be something you need to pick up. Okay, the next one is Henny Penny. I just love those classics. Henny Penny is a great one about misunderstanding a situation and then, starting a rumor and why that it did not go so well. So that is a good one. The Three Little Pigs is my 5-year-old's favorite story right now. She loves The Three Little Pigs. We've read it, I don't know how many times. When my oldest was younger, we actually did like a hands-on demonstration to see how that would work with the Three Little Pigs. And I had her build up a little house out of straw and a little house out of sticks, and then we made one, I think it was out of clay is what we used for bricks, or maybe it was blocks, I don't remember, but we used a blow dryer, and I just remember her trying to blow down these houses with this blow dryer. That was the wolf, and it was so cute and such a good way. And she still remembers doing that activity. I think she was in kindergarten, so she was really young, but she still remembers it. The Three Billy Goats Gruff, also a fun classic fairy tale. That is a fun one. I also have a sweet memory of my boys playing because they happened to have 3 goats, and there was like a log and some water flowing, and they just played it. It was really cute. I just have sweet memories of that, and I just love that story, so it's just a cute one. Okay, the next 2 are by Virginia Lee Burton. She has beautiful books for kids, and they speak to your hearts, to your kids' hearts, especially this first one I'm going to tell you guys, which is The Little House. It is about a house that's out in the country. The house is there, and it kind of shows the life of this house and what changes in the area where it lives. And at the very end, it's a big city, and it's this house kind of squished into this big town, and they end up moving the house back into the country because it's at that point an old, house that they want to keep. And it's just a beautiful story. So I absolutely love it. I love it for so many reasons. And the next one is Mike Mulligan and the Steam Shovel. Great for boys. Also by Virginia Lee Burton. She has another one about a snow plow, I think. And I think there's one more about a cable car. And just great vehicle ones for boys especially, but girls too, they enjoy them. But I just remember specifically this one because my boys really liked this one. So, okay, the next one is There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. I love this story because I really like books that have that repetitive rhyme for this age. I'm talking about like the early childhood age. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die, I think is what it says. And I think it's still cute. I think it's still fun. Books that kind of have that sing-songy rhyme to them are fun for kids. I have another one listed here we'll talk about in a minute. And those are the kinds they like. They also like what's the frogs? 5 Little Speckled Frogs on the Log. My kids love that one because they can sing it over and over. So that's a little bonus one. That wasn't actually on here, but that's a great one too. Next Robert McCloskey book is Make Way for Ducklings. Everybody loves the Duckling book. It is a good one. This one in particular for Robert McCloskey is one of my favorites, but there are several others that people really like. There's a Time of Wonder, Lentil, One Morning in Maine. A couple of those my kids just kind of found draggy and boring, but this one in particular, they did like Make Way for Ducklings. It's so cute. All right, the next one I have listed is Stone Soup. I would say a lot of these books are available by multiple authors because the story themselves is an old story, such as Stone Soup. So when you're searching for these, I would find the ones with the best illustrations, if you can. But Stone Soup is so good. I just love that. I try to do it every November with my kids. It's about some travelers, and in olden days, that's how they didn't have hotels and things. They would just travel along, and when they reached a village, they would ask people, can we have a meal? Can we stay over a night? And people would do that. Well, this particular town that these travelers show up in is not very rich. They don't have a lot of food themselves, and they're not doing so hot. So they decide, the travelers decide, okay, well, we'll just make some stone soup, and they get a pot of water and put a rock in it, and that's going to be their soup. But people start to bring, like, one person brings this, and one person brings that, and one person brings this. And before you know it, everybody has brought enough food that they can have a big meal together. Had they not done that, everybody would have just had, just their head of cabbage, just their potato. They wouldn't have had a wonderful meal, and they're able to have a big meal. I think it speaks so much to community and to sharing and to, giving to others. I like that one, especially those in need. The next one is Harold and the Purple Crown, just a great book about imagination. Basically, the little boy has a crown, and everything he draws is what happens. So just a cute, cute book. Now, another classic, The Gingerbread Man. This one is just fun to do. Like in Christmas time, if you run out of time, it works well in January as well. But you make up some cookies, and you get to decorate your own gingerbread cookie, and also do the story of the gingerbread man, maybe even act it out. Just a fun one. And the little gingerbread man outsmarts that little fox. Yes, he does. The next one is Town Mouse, Country Mouse, a great book if you are looking for something that's going to teach about the different ways people live and why they appreciate those lifestyles. That is a great one. The two mice switch places and try out life in the town or in the country, whichever one it is that they don't live, and they get to see what it's like. And I think it's really cute, and in the end, they both appreciate what they've already had as far as what their home was. They appreciate their original home a lot more. And I'm just saying, if our kids, need to appreciate their own homes, that's a good book. The next one is one of my son's favorite. It is Harry the Dirty Dog. This one also is part of a series. And a lot of these, I'm going to say that a lot of these have sequels that go with them, or you can just search that author, and that author has other great books that are also fantastic. So Harry the Dirty Dog, such a good book about a dog who does not want to take a bath. He runs away, gets so filthy that he gets back home. His family doesn't even recognize him, and he gets back home and gets his bath, and then they realize that it is their dog that they've loved all along. So very cute. Madeline, another one from my childhood that I just remember. There's a series of these. Also, there's even an animated series if you wanted to watch it. I think there's even stuffed animals that go with it. It's just really, really sweet. But little Madeline sometimes gets herself into little predicaments and troubles and needs a little assistance. Kind of like the next one that I'm going to talk about, which is Curious George. Pretty much any book by Curious George. There are new ones that I don't prefer as much. The older ones are much better, but definitely some of my favorites. The one where he goes to the chocolate factory, the one where he goes to the hospital, the one where he goes to the movies, the one where he makes pancakes, all of those, some of the classics that are so good. But Little George, he was my favorite, and we actually took my daughter, they did like a museum exhibit, and we took her to the Curious George Museum exhibit. She thought that was so fun. But yeah, he gets himself into all kinds of predicaments. There's a show that goes with this that is actually fairly educational, I would say, in the animated series. So that is also a little bonus. The Little Golden Books, the classic ones, I absolutely love them so much. Just to give you an example of one is Good Night Little Bear. My kids love this one, where the little bear ends up on daddy's shoulders and he's trying to put him to bed, but dad's pretending he doesn't know he's on his shoulders. So he's walking around the house with Bear on his shoulders, and he's like, where did he go? Is he under here? Is he under here? And the bear's giggling, and then he looks in the mirror and he sees him. So cute. So Good Night, Little Bear, and the Eloise Wilkin books. They are also little golden books, but she was the illustrator on those, and they're just precious. A lot of them are great for your little girls. There are some that will work for either way. There's like Baby Dear, Baby Listens, Baby Looks. But then there's some that my little girls absolutely love, about Little Mommy, where she's being a mommy, taking care of her baby doll. Just so cute. Dr. Dan is another great one that's good. Nurse Nancy is a good one. There's some train ones and some truck ones that are really well done. The classic ones. There's some others that are really well done. There's Pokey Little Puppy. That is so cute. There's Tawny Scrawny Lion. I mean, just so many. Pretty much if you search Little Golden or Classic Little Golden, you'll come up with so many. The classics are the absolute best. I actually have a collection where I collect those when I go to different places or thrift stores or whatever. I actually collect the Little Golden books, but the classic ones. The Ugly Ducklings, so good, so good. I think everybody goes through a period in their life where they feel they are the ugly duckling and not going to be good enough, and then they turn into a beautiful swan. If you haven't gone through that, it's coming, but I feel like most of the time it's puberty, but I feel like everybody goes through that, and then you get there, and it's such a good book. Books are so good for relating to those experiences that we have in our lives. The next one is The Velveteen Rabbit. This one is good on many levels, because this one was good with my youngest, with just like a fun make-believe story. But as they got older, they started to kind of see the correlations of the, I think it was smallpox that the little boy has, and they have to get rid of all of his toys, and how that went, and how, you know, like the historical significance that goes with it. And that is another good one. I love books that we can grow with as we get older. All right, the next one, if you're looking for some enchanting, beautiful books, the Elsa Beskow books. She is, I believe, Swedish, and her books are great. The one that I wrote down is Children of the Forest, because it's kind of the, I would say, the most well-known. But there is Woody Hazel and Little Pip. There is Peter of Blueberry Land. There is Children of Hat Cottage. There's so many good ones by Elsa Beskow, and they are all so good. They're so enchanting. They're full of imagination. They're about forest and little critters that live in the forest, but they're people, little gnomes and things. They're so good. And I just love them so much. Okay, the next book that I wrote down was The Seven Chinese Brothers. What an awesome book to talk about how we can work together with our strengths and succeed together. How we don't all have things that we're good at that are exactly the same, but that we all have differences. If you are not following me on Mother Culture Monday, this is like a side note. I am working through this book here, M is for Mama, where we are going through this book together, and that actually speaks about how that chapter that we just did this week is. It is listed in the playlist, M is for Mama, if you want to go find it. But it talks about, not comparing ourselves, mamas, and how, you might be good at this, but somebody else might be better at this. For example, you might be really good at party planning, but somebody else might be really good at homeschooling or cleaning or decorating or cooking, different aspects of motherhood, and how they're not all the same, but that we can work together and help each other. And that's kind of how Seven Chinese Brothers is, but on a child's level. And the seven brothers each have one skill that they are very good at. They're not all the same, but when they work together, they can do great things. So I think that's great. Now the next one is Island Boy. This one touched my heart. I remember reading it. It's about a large family. He lives on an island. He grows up, just about what happens there, and then he goes back as an adult and goes back there, and it's just such a beautiful story. I think it's a good one. I think everybody should have it in their collection, because it's just one of those that speaks to the whole of life. It doesn't just focus on like a child's little moment. It's their whole life. So I love that. Little House is also like that. Pat Hutchins books. I have 3 favorites here that I listed because they're just so cute, the way she animated, or the illustrator on those, and the way they're done. 10 Red Apples. The people actually look like they're made of blocks, like made out of wood, like little German people. It's so cute. So 10 Red Apples and Changes is another really good one. Changes actually has no words, and it's like a true picture book, and you get to tell you get to tell the story as you go. And the blocks in the book, it's like toys, and the blocks fall apart, like they become a house, and then they come apart there's a fire, they have to come apart and they become a fire truck. And it's so cute the way it's done. So Changes by Pat Hutchins, 10 Red Apples, and also don't forget the bacon. That is a great one for lists. The little boy is sent on an outing to go with a list of things he needs to pick up at the market. And don't forget the bacon. And he keeps forgetting and like twisting the words and mixing them up to all these different random things until he actually gets there and he can't remember what it was he needed until he does. It's really cute. Okay, the next one is actually, I would say, one of my absolute favorite, definitely in my top 5 when I was a kid. And it is Caps for Sale. Loved Caps for Sale. In fact, I think there are 3 others after Caps for Sale, like 3 others in that series, and I have not read them. That's really bad, but I should, because Caps for Sale was one that I just loved. I just loved it so much. I actually did a little unit study on it with my 3 little ones last school year, and it was just so fun. But yeah, you've got the monkeys. They take the man's caps. He has to get them back, and he does. And then there's a couple, like I said, sequels that go along with that. There's a circus one. I think there's more Caps for Sale, and another one. Just so cute, so cute. Okay, let's look at some Ezra Jack Keats. She has 3 books that I absolutely think would be recommended for children, and the first one is Snowy Day. Everybody knows Snowy Day. It's a huge classic that everybody recognizes. Whistle for Willie, such a cute one. Again, another beautiful book. And Over in the Meadow. I talked about those kind of sing-songy books. Over in the Meadow is another one. Just good books. The next one is the Eric Carle books. Probably the most recognizable one is Hungry Caterpillar. Everybody knows Hungry Caterpillar, but there are so many good ones. The Quiet Cricket, the Grumpy Ladybug, or Grouchy Ladybug, excuse me. Just so many good ones, and they're all so good. I actually made a curriculum of Eric Carle preschool curriculum. I don't have it up right now for sale, but I hope to soon. And yeah, just those are so good. The pictures are great. You probably have recognized Brown Bear, What Do You See? You probably recognize that. That's also Eric Carle. So good books. And the last one is actually not a classic, but I feel that it is so good, so well done. I feel like it is quickly becoming a classic. There are a lot in this series. It is the God Gave Us series. There's God Gave Us You, God Gave Us Christmas, God Gave Us the Bible. There's a whole bunch of different ones. They're so well done. They're so well done. I feel like they are absolutely becoming classics because they're, at least they are in our home. I don't know about yours, but I am kind of collecting those, and they are so good. You know, this is like a good list of books that I would want to read to my grandkids, my great-grandkids. These are ones that will never go out of style. They will never not be relevant. They will never not be beautiful and fun and interesting. They will always be good books for us. And that is the ones I wanted. The ones that have no end time, no time limit. So that is my vintage classic picture books you cannot miss with your children. Make a list, watch the video a second time. If you did not make a list the first time, watch a video the second time, write them all down, and you know, just keep it in your purse, and as you're out and about shopping at thrift stores or whatever, pull it out and just browse real quick and see if any of them are there. That's what I do. That's what I would recommend you do, just to start collecting some good, wonderful favorites that aren't going to go out of style and are going to be well loved. So thanks for joining me, guys. If you, like I said, if you have not already subscribed, do subscribe. If you have not shared this video, share it with others, because we need these kinds of books to be promoted, not some of the other ones that we've seen. If you're not following on Mondays, it is M is for Mama, the series that we're going through, so go check that out. You will get alerts if you subscribe and hit the little bell, and it is also listed in the playlist called M is for Mama. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.